So,
What should we talk about?
tell us how you're going to blow our minds this year.
Well, we've got mystery, we've got violence, we've got strange disappearances, we've got new Ghost Rider villains. We've got a lot planned, actually, and a lot of comedy, too. A lot of good relationship stuff. So, for the 6th season, we're actually still firing on all cylinders, which is nice to see. Everybody on the crew and the cast is still working 100% their asses off, which is good.
By the 6th season, is it hard to keep things scary?
Yeah, it is, but we've got new characters. We've got fresh faces. I mean, Dylan and Kylan do an amazing job bringing a new energy into the show, and it's all about just telling a different story in different ways. We're pretty happy with the new mythology. We think it's going to be fun, and it's all about caring about the characters and being worried about them.
Does a good old jump scare still work?
Always really loud music sting. I try to stay away from those because there's always feel like the cat jumping out of the closet moment. It's a cheap scare, but it's still expensive. I like suspense a little better.
So it's going to be more of a ghost story.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that? And the big bad, and
We always try to do something a little different, and our main villain of the season are the Ghost Riders, who are kind of a force of nature. They're based on the myth of the Wild Hunt, Woden's Hunt, as it was called in Norse myth. It's a myth that actually permeates all of Europe and many different cultures, and it came into the sort of American West as the Ghost Riders of the Storm, old folk song, or country song. But the way they come into Beacon Hills is pretty cool. It's fun, and they cause a lot of havoc for our characters, and the character dynamics that it creates allows us to do a lot with this season. And there's a bit of memorializing as well of seasons past, because you will delve into memory quite a bit.
Okay, so does that mean we might see some people that are otherwise no longer
There'll be a few
readily
surprises.
available on this plane?
Well, you're going to see one person show up in the trailer. It'll be a surprise. So you're at the panel, you'll see. Go ahead.
I don't want to monopolize.
Oh no, I'm not.
Well, everybody wants to know what we can expect for Styles and Lydia. All of, half of the questions that we got through Twitter were, Stiddy, what's going on?
God, they are a passionate fan base, aren't
They are.
They love their relationships.
Yes.
I can say the trailer reveals something, but I would say watch the first episode. The first episode gives a definitive moment whether it's going one way or another. So you'll see. There's a bit of a twist to it as well. I say to the City of fans, watch the first episode, and then grab your pitchforks. I live in the Hollywood Hills.
For Scott, how much of where he is now is what he planned from the beginning, and what elements have you found along the way?
I have to say a lot of that is changed because of Tyler Posey. We started to write him differently as he became an adult. I'm really impressed by the kind of hero that Scott has become. I like his arc, his journey. One of the things that's interesting about him this season is that he's single, and that he's got to sort of become an adult and not do it in a relationship. He's had a romance pretty much every season of the show, and it's like, what is Scott like now being a single guy and trying to find his way through both high school and the supernatural world? I like seeing him as a leader. I like seeing him as a fighter, and you get to see him as a bit more of an alpha in this. We've always said it's kind of a story of him going from a teenage boy to an alpha / man. So he's got to be kind of a benevolent fighter, benevolent leader. We debate about it. Is he more Superman or is he more Batman? Can he kill someone or should he never kill anyone? Like, seeing Superman kill someone, kill Zod in Man of Steel created quite an uproar. Did we have that same sort of uproar with Scott, or did it feel right? So, there's plenty of debates.
Now, with Derek pretty much gone, does that mean that whole family...
Speaking of Superman.
What?
Speaking of Superman.
Speaking of Superman, yes. So does that mean that whole storyline with that family is kind of gone from the landscape?
Yeah, we considered the big arcing Hale storyline kind of finished with Derek's exit from the show. There may be seeds or bits and pieces of it here and there, but we finished that with him, and I'm looking forward to seeing Hecklin as Superman. I think he'll fill out the costume quite nicely.
How much further ahead have you thought of or planned out? Season 7.
Barely.
Do you know the ending?
Nope.
What episode
That will be
are you
figured
guys-
out.
What episode are you guys on now?
We had to take a little bit of a break from shooting. We're going to finish up episode 610. We've got pieces to shoot certain episodes. We have about 2 more weeks of shooting to finish up the first 10. And then I think we go back on the next 10 in the fall sometime.
I always ask, what's the big moment in the season that you can't wait for the fans to see?
Oh, good question.
Where's
I think. Yeah, there are a couple of moments in episode 10 that are going to be fun. I really like the ending of the first episode. We finished the cut, and the ending really came out well. I'm excited for the fans to see the ending of that episode.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jeff.